Hi everyone, welcome back to Chop's Garage. I've been on a big buying spree, so I know you're going to have a look around and see the good, the bad and ugly, so let's go. First of all, I want to say a massive thanks to everyone supporting the raffle, where 50% of the proceeds go to the North Devon Hospice. In fact, it'll be more than 50% because I'm doing it on the gross sales, and there are some overheads costs for some of the products and for the company actually running the raffle, so it'll be more than 50% going to North Devon Hospice. So massive thanks to those who supported. Just a little reminder, you've got the launch diagnostics machine, you've got the Top Don jump pack, you've got the GT Shine ceramic pack, and the Top Don battery tester is now in as well, all brand new in box, which is one of the prizes. So I'll put a link in the description down below if any of you missed this the first time round. And just, yeah, massive thanks to everyone supporting that. It's fantastic to see North Devon Hospice are going to get a really decent little bit of contribution towards helping do the massively good work they do. Remember, we've made it really affordable. It's only 50p a ticket, so you can go mad and buy a load of them and really increase your chances of winning. Again, the link for doing that will be in the video description down below. Anyway, let's crack on and look at these purchases. So first up, we've got this 2015 BMW 1 Series. This was a drive-by. Chap that works behind me in the units, I think he watches Chop's Garage, so if you do, hello. Thanks for popping by. He was ending his finance and going to just have a little cheap car. I think we might well be seeing a lot more of that happening going forwards with the way the economy is. He's had this little 1 Series for a while. It's the 1.6 diesel. I think these are twin turbo, aren't they? Don't worry, we'll be putting away all my cleaning equipment later on. I've just finished giving this a bit of a clean up. It's come up really, really nicely. I think this is like a business spec or something. I'm not entirely sure. We'll have a quick look. But yeah, really nice looking in this black. We've got the nice alloys on it, which all seem in good condition. The paintwork's in good condition. I've only found one spot. I need to do a little something. I don't know if they've got a stone chip or something down here. It's caused a little bit of blistering there, so we'll get that sorted. But I wanted to get it cleaned up and photographed because it's got to go down and get a fresh MOT, and it will have a service as well. So I'll probably tackle the paint after that's done, in case it gets dirty again. But yeah, we've got the nice leather interior. That's all in really nice condition. All the carpets have come up nicely. It's in really good nick. Oh, squeeze in. These 1 Series are quite low, so they don't necessarily suit everyone, but that comes with the old sporty driving position, doesn't it? We've got push to start, so just put my foot on the clutch. Starts up on the button. That's cold. That hasn't been moved since yesterday afternoon. We have got low tyre pressure to look at. 108,000 miles on it. Now on these, if we get out of that, if I remember rightly, where is it? Menu. We've got the little dial set up here, haven't we? So if I go to OK on that, it's fuel reserve. Also one, right, if we go into vehicle information, I think it is, I think we can find service history. Where's service history? I think it might be in vehicle status. Service history, there we go. So you can check things like the front brake pads are okay, the brake fluid's okay, the engine oil's okay, rear brake pads are okay. There's no warning lights for anything other than that tyre. If we go to service history, we can see the service history on it. So we've got service 2018, 2018. I think orange means it might be missed, possibly. 2016, and it's a 2015 car. So we've only got history up to 2018 in there. So when we go down and have it serviced, I haven't looked for any receipts yet. But when we go down and get it serviced, we'll do oil filter, fuel filter, air filter, and oil on it, and we'll get a new MOT. And last MOT was advisory free. So I'm hoping it doesn't need too much. We've got the 6-speed gearbox, we've got the sport setting, the Eco Pro, we've got heated seats, cruise control, Bluetooth, so it's decent spec as well. Nice little car. I think these are 0 road tax as well, aren't they? I think they do daft MPG and they're 0 road tax, but they're still pretty darn nippy. I have pre-recorded a little drive in this before I got it clean, so let's hop to that a second. So let's go for a spin and see what we think. Certainly nippy for a little 1.6. clutch is nice. Got loads of punch. Much quicker than all the other 1.6s I drive. It goes through all the gears fine. Well, we've got 6th as well, haven't we? There we go. No resistance in any of the gears at all. Really nice shift. Clutch is nice and smooth. Loads of punch. I'm not hearing anything from the suspension, and this is a really bad road. Yeah, I'm not hearing anything from the suspension side of things. That 6th gear, we're at 60 mile an hour and we're at 1500 RPM. So that's going to give very good fuel economy. Steering again around this roundabout. Whee! Yeah, lovely. Yeah, this looks like it'll be a cracking little car for someone who wants something sporty that they can use every day and get decent miles per gallon out of and have low running costs. It's a BMW 1 Series dynamic business. I was right, it was a business. It's had 2 owners. The retail value is 7,051, so probably 6,995 that. Can I see what the road tax is on there? Running costs. It says extra urban 62, sorry, extra urban 83, urban 62, and combined 74. BMW are very high with those numbers, so I'd imagine you're probably more about 50 average. Maybe you could hit, I have hit around 70 on a run with one of these when I had it as a hire car on a motorway, so take about 10 mpg off all those numbers. So yeah, 6,995 for a 2015 car, all freshly serviced, new advisory free MOT. That's going to be, I think it's road tax free. We'll confirm that in a second, and great MPG, and obviously really smart looking car as well. People will think you paid a lot more than that for it, I'd have thought. So yeah, Parker says 0 road tax for that model, so ideal. Let's have a look what else we got. So we have to thank a subscriber for the next one. It's a little Hyundai I10. I won't use his name because I don't remember asking him if it was okay or not. But popped this car up to me. We had a bit of a conversation over Messenger and agreed a deal, and it popped the car up to me. Had this from brand new. It's a 2012 little Hyundai I10 1.2 manual petrol. Everyone knows these are my favourite little small runabout. I think they're absolutely brilliant. Sold tons of these. Sold them with anywhere up to 130,000 miles. Phone's going, 2 seconds. Sorry, but that, as I always say, I'm a car dealer that does YouTube, not a YouTuber that does car dealing. So I have to prioritise business first. That's someone who's kind of pick a car up. So yeah, we had a conversation, agreed a deal. I made an offer and he actually knocked me down. First time that's ever happened, I think. I think he thought I'd underestimated some of the bodywork stuff that needed doing. Bought the car to me, so can't say fair on that. So massive thanks for that, and I really do appreciate all of you people that go out of your way to support the channel. And we did do a deal on this. There's a very strict deal on this. This has to be fully prepped to chop standards and sold retail. I cannot trade it out. Obviously, with so many cars on the go, sometimes just taking a trade deal for a smaller margin and keeping the stock moving is a better thing to do. Things like the BMW, not particularly ready to, but we do love these little cars. So yeah, we're going to be fully retailing this one. As they said, he's had it from absolutely brand new. Got a massive folder through the paperwork. I imagine there's a full history there. I haven't actually gone through it yet, I have to be honest. Yeah, I guess the only thing is flat red's never been particularly popular for me in the i10s, but they've always sold. They always find a home. You remember we had one that had a graffiti scrawled all down the back of it, and the inside is lovely in really good condition. The mileage is, what's the mileage? 62. Oh, turn the blur down. 62,000 miles. So nice low mileage. 2012. Low mileage in cheap car territory, guys. Not low mileage in those of you spending 20 grand on cars. Auxiliary input. USB as normal, air conditioning, Lecky front windows, all the plastics in really good. These can get scraped up quite badly because the plastics are quite hard, so it doesn't take anything to kind of rub them and scuff them up. There's a tiny bit down here which you get on all of them from people getting in. Oh, we've got a book here. Let's have a quick look at this sec. Sorry, I assumed that we only had the paperwork. I didn't look in the glove box. I was probably told, but you know what my attention span's like. So we've got 2012, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. We've even got the COVID year, so we actually have absolutely full service history and a ton of paperwork to go with it as well. I'm not sure what that is all about. Is that holding your pens and bits of paper and stuff? I'm not sure. So yeah, brilliant service history on it. You don't need to see me drive one of these, you see me drive one of these 100 times over. Starts on the button. Idles nicely. It was obviously driven all the way to me as well. I will leave it running a bit. I don't like to just turn cars on and turn them off. All the wheel trims need doing. They're all a bit scuffed up. Both front and rear bumper have got lacquer peel all over them. So we are going to do that. Again, I promised we were going to actually bring it right back up to like new. So we'll have the wheel trims off. They bend like this because they're actually bolted to the wheel, so if you catch the edge of them they buckle. As soon as you undo those bolts they normally straighten back out, but these will need sanding down and painting because I want to keep original ones on it. Same with the front there. As I said, the front bumper's got lacquer peel as well. Now what we might try is getting the pressure washer, because everybody keeps telling me off for having the patio cleaning head on the pressure washer, which is quite aggressive. If we put that on here and try and blast the lacquer off, if we can blast the lacquer off completely, we can key it up and re-lacquer it and it'll be exactly the same red as it was originally, because that's all that's happened, the lacquer separated. But it may be they have to both be repainted, and then it'll just be a case of give it a machine polish, clean the plastics, can't remember what the MOT status is on it, give it a service. There's one little bit down here to do in the corner there and we'll be good to go. So yeah, nice little car. I can't remember what the retail on something this age is. It's going to be between probably, I don't know, 3.5 to 4. I can't remember exactly what it is, and obviously I don't know how much money I'm going to put into it yet. I may have to outsource the painting and bumpers, which could be expensive if I'm short on time, but it's going to be a cracking little car for someone, and you don't often get the chance to buy a one owner from new car like that, do you? So fantastic. Massive thanks again for bringing that one to me. Really appreciate it. Again, I can't shout loudly enough about how much I appreciate the support I'm given with the channel. Now this purchase is a Grand Vitara. To me, I'm probably going to get beasted for this because there's probably lovers this out. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me. I think you need to be someone who needs to tow stuff about and run around doing sort of maybe horsey jobs or farm jobs or something like that. I'm not sure who exactly this appeals to, because one thing, it's 3-door, so it's quite a big car for a 3-door. So not so practical obviously if you need to pile the kids in and so forth or anything like that. And then it's got the 2.4 litre petrol in it, so not the most economical combination, I guess. Although that said, I did put some fuel in it and drive it around for a couple of days, as you know I do, and it didn't actually seem to use that much fuel. I guess because it's got plenty of power, it can pull itself up the hills. In fact, I might be hop on the computer when we go back in a second and just check what the MPG would be like on this. Now again, I believe this is low owner. I think it may be 2 owner, this one, on a 2000. Now this is the problem. This is the problem, and this is the title of the actual video. Can I sell a car with this number plate on it? Now that is an accident. This car is a 2014. Somebody went out of their way to put that number plate on it. And the other giveaway is, if we come around the back of it, we have a sticker down here that says "I love squats" from Strength Shop. Now, we all love a bit of squats, don't we? I actually personally hate them. That's why I'm getting the first thing done every week. But yeah, I think that's telling us about the kind of mindset someone has put a number plate on it. So yeah, it's an interesting one. It drives really quite well. The only thing I'd say is, when I come to a complete halt, I find first sometimes difficult to engage. If I pump it, it works. So mechanic-y people, tell me if I'm right. I'm suspecting that might be a slave, because the clutch is absolutely fine, doesn't slip, changes absolutely fine in all the rest of the gears. So, and it doesn't do it all the time, so I'm wondering if it's just a little, especially when you first set off, it doesn't do it. So that does indicate to me that loss of pressure maybe. It's not had the best life either. It's got a bit of a ding up here that someone's tried to touch in with a rattle can, because I know that for a fact because, hold on, 2 remote keys. I know that for a fact because
we have the rattle cans on the seat. So they've got their primer, they've got their colour, they've got their lacquer. They just clearly did not watch a Chops Garage tutorial first. It is, you can't really see because it's dirty because I've been running around in it, but they've literally just looks like they sprayed the colour on and then maybe sprayed the lacquer on straight away. They haven't blended anything like that, so that panel there is going to have to be redone. I think they did a little bit around the door handle as well, but it looks to me like that's actually going to buff off. So they did that, and then over here somewhere this corner's got a ding in it, and again they've just sprayed it and it's like matte. It's like they haven't put the lacquer on. So they're not hard repairs to do, to be honest. Totally achievable here in the workshop. I could do those in quite nicely. Was there any more? Can't remember. But like I say, yeah, other than that, you know, it drives really, really nicely. The mileage is low on it as well, if I remember correctly. Interior is really good. It will all clean up nicely, and I've pushed the back seats down because I was picking some side skirts up for the smart car. So the interior is in, well, it's immaculate, really. Really good condition. Smells lovely too, I'll give it that. What do I keep doing with the keys? Right, mileage is 58,799, so mileage is decent again. It's a proper four-wheel drive as well. You've got the diff lock and all that kind of stuff, all the stuff I don't understand. You've got aircon, CD radio, lecky windows, lecky mirrors. Like I say, everything in here is in really good condition. Smells fantastic. The plastics are good, the carpets are excellent. They've double carpeted, which is always a pretty good sign. And it starts and runs really nicely. In fact, this 2.4 is pretty smooth. When you drive along, it's a nice little drive because it has got, like I say, plenty of torque. And the engine, when you're actually running and driving, is quite, well, with the cabin, it's quite quiet. It doesn't really come into the cabin once, I mean, that's got to drop down off throttle a bit, obviously, from starting from cold. But yeah, it's quite quiet. It's a nice little driver. Is it for me to retail? I'm not entirely sure. Not entirely sure. Obviously, I got it at a decent price because of the paintwork damage on it. And I say, I'll go into first find now. I just find once you've been driving for a bit and you come to a complete halt, you have to kind of like give it a good old, it's not in the box. I'm confident it's not in the box at all. You know, see, there you go. After doing it a few times, it's got a little bit of resistance. So again, I suspect maybe a slave cylinder. Could be a master cylinder, I guess. But this is certainly up for grabs if anybody fancies it trade-wise. We'll have a look at the values in a minute on it. Service history-wise, what's it got service history-wise? I couldn't find anything, could I? Yeah, it hasn't got the service book in here. Hasn't got the service book. Oh, but it has got, that's it. This one had. He's thrown it all over the floor. I had to have a load of receipts for work. Hold on a second. Yeah, like a service there. Service at 54,000 miles. Well, we at 58,000 miles, so there's a load of receipts here. I've got to be careful because there's the person's name on it. All from a Rover, someone who's got like a Rover garage thing on there. Yeah, a load of receipts here, so it does look like it has got service history. The book's been left out somewhere by the looks of it. Let's have a look at the values of this thing. So Auto Trader values it at 7,000, so 7,300. Retail, I don't know. I don't know if I've got the time or inclination to deal with that truck. To be honest, if anybody wants to come and give me 4,700 for it as it stands, go for it. Go for it. Well, Honest John, my favourite site for MPG, says that the 1.6 does 25, the diesel does 32, but the 2.4 automatic does 25.9. Now, manual, you'd expect to be a bit higher than automatic. There doesn't seem to be one for a manual, so let's say the manual is going to do 27, say. There isn't as big a gap between a diesel and a petrol as you think. And what's the difference in cost? It's in petrol and diesel at the moment. Probably actually closes that gap up. So it's not as open and shut case you'd think that you'd need a diesel one, I guess, is it? Yeah, I worked it out actually. I think based on the averages across the UK, the difference in petrol prices between diesel and petrol is about 13%. So the difference in MPG between the two of these is, quick count, it's about 19-20%. So yeah, it's only marginally cheaper to run the diesel than the petrol. So my initial impression's slightly different now, having had a look at that actually. And obviously the petrol, you don't have all the other gubbins bolted to the engine on it, do you? Just a nice 2.4, no turbos and all that other guff that goes on with diesel. So yeah, it might not be a bad car. It'd probably make a good towing car.
Right, and lastly, so my favourite buy of all of them is this little Skoda Fabia Estate. Now, I believe this is one owner from new, this car. It is super clean. I mean, it's filthy because I've been driving the wheels off it. Because it's a little 1.4 diesel. And it's a 3-cylinder diesel. It's just got such a cracking little character to it. I don't know what it is about it. For starters, I put £20 in it because it came to me absolutely bone dry. Filled up half a tank. I look online and owners report they get 60 miles to the gallon out of this as an average, so obviously more on the longer runs. And it's just such a quirky little engine. Unlike all the diesels I've driven normally, it kind of is happy to rev a little bit as well, and that little 3-cylinder hum gives it, like I said, gives it a real little character to it. I don't think it's the highest spec in the world. It's an ambient, is that? It's got new tyres on the front. I think it's got a load of service history on it. I'll try and dig that in a minute, but yeah, we've got new tyres on the front and pretty much new tyres on the back, so it looks like it's got pretty much all new rubber all round. Like I say, it needs a little bit of a buff, but it's going to clean up mint for a 2000. It might be 2004 or 2005. I'm not sure which it is. But they've got little seat covers on. All the seats are mint. Inside here is going to clean up like new. Really is. Yeah, I'm really pleased with this one. I think I might have to take it for a little spin in it just to show you what I mean. Otherwise, it's not going to make any sense to you at all why I'm enjoying driving it. Got nice little, obviously, loads of room for activities. All in good condition. Like I say, it's going to clean up really well. You've got a little tow bar on the back of it. I imagine that's like my father-in-law, a little clip-ins trailer or something, or a little tender for something. Don't know for sure. I'm going to leave it on. It seems to be well fitted underneath there. I don't want to angle grind it off or anything like that. We'll just leave it on there. But yeah, cracking little car. I think it's got a really long MOT on it as well, which, if I remember, is advisory free. I'll double check it. But it's got a really long MOT on it. I think this one really just needs a really good clean, and then go down for the boys for a safety check. I'll check when the last service was done, and then go up for sale. But this is going to be brilliant for someone who needs something really Fugles run about in. I think the road tax is 135 because it's an older car. You didn't start to get tax breaks till a little bit later on, did you? But still, it's going to be cheap as well. I think. Oh, I haven't shown you the mileage or anything, have I? I'm getting a bit too enthused about it. Let's show you the mileage on it. The mileage is quite low for the age. Oh, it is 69,000 miles, 811. It was less than that. I've put a few miles on it since, been running about the place. You know my diesels, I like to check them properly when they're cold and when they're warm and all that kind of stuff. Oh yeah, I've got paperwork down there. Let's have a look what we've got here. So servicing 2006, 2007, 2008, this is all Skoda. 2009, 2010, 2011 Skoda. 2012 Skoda. 2013 Skoda. It is a one owner actually. I do remember it being a one owner because I thought it's strange they changed to other garages to get the services done. I don't know why, maybe they moved or something. 2014, 2016, 2018. Any of these, we've got timing belt replaced on 2016 there. And any other ones? They say they did it in 2012 as well there. Then after that they stopped with the stamps in the book. Right, there's nothing meaningful in the rest of that, it's just MOTs. It is a local garage, I know this garage here. I don't see any of their stamps in the book afterwards. So maybe it's gone down there and they haven't stamped the book, because it does seem strange to have it serviced all that time and then just stop out of nowhere. So I don't imagine it hasn't been serviced. It runs really well as well. Let's just start it up for you a second. Right, we'll just start her up quickly. Oh. Right, we'll just start her up quickly. She starts on the button, always has done from cold and from warm, but yeah, I've got to give you a little drive in this and just show you what I'm talking about. So like you can hear, the little 3-cylinder diesel is quite vocal, which you'd expect really, being a diesel and being 3-cylinder and being an older diesel. But it's quite a happy little thrum it has. Gear change is nice and direct, no sloppiness. Clutch is nice and light, bites in the middle, brakes well.
Right, so you get a big glob of torque at about 2,000 revs, but what surprises me is it's quite happy to keep revving. And unlike most diesels, you get a bit more power from doing it as well. So you get this big clump of acceleration, like I say about 2,000, which feels like, you know, quite peppy. But then it's happy to carry on revving. Most diesels, once you've gone past 2,000, there's no point revving it because you don't get any more power. This one is quite a rev happy little car, and it just keeps accelerating. I know there's the 1.9 which is properly quick, but this feels really quite nippy. I say it's got a little thrum to it. It's got like it's got a little character. Cracking little car. Now, if I hadn't bought myself a very similar toy recently, which has not been on the channel yet, it's going to be coming up. It kind of ticks a lot of the same boxes. It'd be a very tempting car to keep as my daily commuter back and forth to work. It says already having a Suzuki Swift to do that. The only thing I think is a shame with it is this car is probably going to get looked past by most first-time drivers. They're going to look at it as being too boring looking and being in the state and that, but actually I think this would be a perfect first-time driver's car. You've got plenty of punch to get you out of trouble. If you miss the gears, you've got a torque to carry you through. It's bigger, you've got a bit more safety around you than you have those little, a lot of the little tin box ones. Got cracking fuel economy, low running costs. You're going to be able to put a tenner in it every now and then and be able to go and get wherever you want to get without having to revisit the pumps again. And if you get stuck at some event or whatever, bung yourself a sleeping bag with the seats down in the back, you're going to have a comfy little bed, aren't you? Yes, I think it'll be a shame that probably that market won't give it a second look.
So there we have it. It's a cracking little car. I'm surprised how much I like bombing around in that. So quite a mixed bag. We had to move the I10 over there when the gas guy came along. So quite a bit mixed bag of cars there. I hope you enjoyed all the content. This one, I didn't mention price, did I? I see this at around about 2,395, I'd say. Yeah, I think 2,395. Again, there'll be cheap ones out there, but mark my words, when this is washed and given a polish, this and interior valet, this is going to come out like new, this little car. And it's a one owner from new. It's got the low mileage. In the current market, the sort of stuff you're paying 2k for at the moment is total rubbish, and this is anything but that. So I think it's probably worth every penny of that. Maybe even start at 2,495 and get knocked down a bit. But yeah, I'll stick to my guns. I think it's worth every penny of that. Right, I've had to interrupt filming there for a second because I've got a couple of tyre kickers in. Got to deal with these guys. Tyre kickers? And then they will be back to normal. Gas guy needs a third car because they've actually written the mocker off for the rat incident. So the mocker he bought off of me.
No, the mocker you put a rat in.
The mocker I put a rat in apparently has been written off due to the amount of damage the little rodent has actually done. He has. Where are we seeing it? It's in here, isn't it? Yeah, he's eating his way through there, the little devil, isn't he? And here, what's he done? Oh yeah, he's eating his way out of there.
He nested in there and in the glove box.
So what has happened to the dash then? Show me the dash. It's coming up with a fault on the parking sensors. I thought you'd lost it.
This doesn't work.
Oh right, none of those
That
work.
there.
So he's
Yeah,
eating the
just
wiring loom
these
for that.
two.
He's had a go at all your
so
wiring loom,
If
isn't
you
he?
start it now, it's in gear, mate, so be careful.
I thought you would let up like a
Not
Christmas
coming
tree
up
from
with
it.
Wow. It was coming up with a fault. This is the heater.
Sounds like a bit of an insurance scam to me, mate.
No, but
This
look.
sounds like a bit
Oh
of an
my
insurance.
God! Sadie!
Oh, the windows that weren't working are now working.
That one's not working.
Okay. They're intermittent.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to Copart and somebody with rose tinted glasses, and I'll think, oh, bargain, I'll get that because I won't need to do anything to it. And they'll pop around and find out they've got no electrics.
As you can see, look how clean it is.
It's lovely. You've kept it in good nick. Do we actually know the rat has left the building for sure yet?
Well, the rat poison, which is in here.
You take its bed out.
Still in there as an etit. That's where it nested.
So we don't actually know the rat has left the mocker yet.
Well, actually, if you run the engine, do you want to hear the noise inside? You go there, I'll go over here.
Am I going to hear a rat?
You're going to hear the noise. Listen to this, right? I start her up. Okay. Yeah, the code hasn't come on, you're right.
Oh,
Turn
100%. Yeah.
that, ready?
That's the dead rat stuck behind the vent.
I think you're right.
It's going to start whiffing for sure soon.
It does whip, can't you smell it? It's a rat piss motor.
Oh my word. So as always, massive thanks for watching my ramblings. I hope you enjoyed the walk around of the latest stock. I've obviously got, as always, loads of cleaning, loads of prep to do. It does look like the BMW might be going to Mrs. Gas Guy. She's fallen in love with that a little bit. So we'll see what happens on that front. She was coming to look at the Tiguan, but I think she couldn't walk past the BMW once she saw how shiny and pretty it was. So we'll see what happens with that. Anyway, thanks again. And don't forget that raffle. The details are in the description down below. Said with a big chunk going to North Devon Hospice, which is a fantastic charity to be supporting. See you again soon.